Hi, welcome to all. Good day, all of you. Welcome to our channel. Welcome to our session. And welcome to our channel, Intelligible Tutorials. In this today's session, we are going to discuss about various kinds of the machine learning methods. So, what is the meaning of the machine learning, and what are the various kinds of the machine learning methods in the real time life we are going to use, and in the practical sessions, in the practically how these methods are going to do, and the introduction part of these methods. Now, in this class, I am going to give a clear insight on this. So, let us start the machine learning methods. So, before going to start, first of all, I would like to give the introduction that what is the meaning of the machine learning. So, actually, it's a branch of the artificial intelligence, and it is the ability to learn the computers for which we are going to be programmed. So, the ability to learn the computers is called as the machine learning, and it is having various kinds of the types of the learnings. It is derived from the artificial intelligence. It is treated as one of the branch of the artificial intelligence. So, the intelligence requires knowledge, and computers also require some kind of the knowledge. They can gather the knowledge by the learning itself. Knowledge can be gathered by the learning of the things. So, how the various kinds of the learnings are there, now we are going to see. So let us have the definition, the formal definition of the machine learning. Now we are going to see the machine learning algorithms are learning from the experiences. These learning from the experiences can be denoted as E, and from set of the examples that can be denoted as E, and some set of the observations. These observations can be denoted as O, and they can yield some set of the rewards R to acquire the knowledge to implement the task T, and finally they will produce some performance that is treated as the P. So like that, the machine learning algorithms works on learn from the experiences and some examples, and finally the observations to carry out certain task T and to acquire the knowledge, and finally they will produce certain rewards like R and produce certain performance like P. So likewise we can define a machine learning algorithm. Next, what are the various methods are there in the machine learning? Now we are going to see. As we all of you know, the more well-noted methods are there. Those are nothing but supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and semi-supervised learning, reinforcement learning, statistical learning, inductive learning, instance-based learning, ensemble learning, deep learning. These are the various learnings that I am going to cover in this today's session, the introduction part, how these methods are going to be defined. So first of all, we are going to see what is the meaning of the supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and semi-supervised learning. About these learnings I have given in the clear introduction in my prior videos. Just go through that. The supervised learning, unsupervised learning, the videos are clearly given. Just go through that. And again, pictorially in the PPTs, I am showing what is the meaning of the supervised learning. The classification among the sets. This is one class. This is one class. This is one class. The classification among the classes can be defined in the supervised learning, that is clearly labeled data, we can say. And coming to the unsupervised learning, here the data is grouped into certain number of the groups, or we can say simply as the clusters. This is called the unsupervised learning. Here we cannot provide the class label here itself, so that is called as the unsupervised learning. So now we are going to discuss the semi-supervised learning, which is a combination of the supervised and as well as the unsupervised learning. That means, wherever it is necessary, we are going to use the classification, and wherever it is necessary, we are going to use the clustering likewise. Here it is. So this is nothing but the unsupervised learning. It may be used for classification and as well as the grouping. That may be on the labeled data and as well as the both unlabeled data, like that. So the combination of these two is treated as the unsupervised learning. Now we are going to see what is the meaning of the training and what is the meaning of the testing. See, the unobserved universal set of the data is there, this one, that will be divided into two groups. These two groups, one is treated as the observed set, and another one is treated as unobserved set. This observed set is treated as the training set, which we will use the examples of this. Okay, we learn examples from this, and based on that we will classify the data. The second one is nothing but the testing set. This is treated as the unobserved set. So the entire universal set of the data can be divided into two different categories. The first one is the observed set, and the second one is the unobserved set. The observed set is treated as the training data and the unobserved set is treated as the testing data. Likewise, from the training data itself, we make some set of the examples. Based on the examples, we can classify the data. And next we are going to see, so this is nothing but the supervised learning picture, and this is nothing but unsupervised learning picture. First of all, we will see what is the thing that is there in the supervised learning picture. So the training text, documents, images, sounds and labels. See, in the prayer itself, we have indicated that supervised learning will work on the set of the labels. So class label is required for the supervised learning. So labels and featured vectors and training text documents and new text document and featured vector. Before that, the topmost featured vectors, labels, training test documents all will be given into the machine learning algorithm. This machine learning algorithm will generate a predictive model. On this predictive model, we are using new test document, image, feature vector for this. Then it will give the expected label. Okay, so we are training to the machine learning algorithm to all the feature vectors, training text, labels and all. And the next text document and feature vector, we are testing on the generated predictive model, and this predictive model will give the expected label of which class that particular element is belongs to. So likewise, the supervised learning will work. Here labels must be supplied, the class label will be there. So coming to the unsupervised learning, here see in this scenario the labels are not visible, labels are not there. So training and text documents, images and sounds or featured vectors are trained to the machine learning algorithm, and it generates a predictive model. It generates a model. To this particular model, we are testing the text, image, document and feature vector to this model, and finally it will put that particular item in which group it falls under, in which group it comes under, or in which cluster it belongs to. So likewise, the supervised learning and unsupervised learning are variated with the help of the labels, whereas supervised learning can have the labels and whereas unsupervised learning cannot have the labels. Now coming to the semi-supervised learning. Coming to the semi-supervised learning, it is the combination of the both supervised learning and as well as the unsupervised learning. So it is comes under the new research area now. Under the semi-supervised learning, the research area is research is going on. Especially in the case of deep learning, we use the semi-supervised learning. So mixture of models. It is implemented on the mixture of the models. Wherever it is necessary, the supervised learning can be used. Wherever it is necessary, the unsupervised learning can be used. Especially in the case of image classification or image grouping or image clustering, we are going to use this semi-supervised learning. Now coming to the reinforcement learning. In the reinforcement learning, agents will be rewarded or punished. So agents will be give some set of the performance. If they cannot clearly done the task within the given time, within the given range it is specified, then the agent can be redo the same task again and again. That is called the punishment. And reward means whenever it successfully completed its task within the given time, then it will be rewarded. Okay, so this can be done in the multiple agents and agent environment. The best examples of these are applications of the robot in the environment. Various types of the reinforcement learning methods are nothing but the Q learning and as well as the task learning. These two are the most widely used reinforcement learning methods. The next one is nothing but statistical learning. Remember one thing, this statistical learning is one kind of the supervised learning. So we are using some kind of the statistical methods for the prediction of the models. So basically we use Bayesian belief networks, Bayesian learning and Bayesian theorem. All these are the very good statistical models we use for the statistical learning. And the statistical learning can be especially used for predictive models in the case of the supervised learning. The very good examples are Bayesian belief networks, Bayesian learning and Bayes theorem. These are used. So the probability is used, and as well as some other statistical methods also we may use for our prediction problems. The next one is nothing but inductive learning. Inductive learning is also one kind of the supervised learning. We mostly use this inductive learning, especially the decision tree is one of the best example of the inductive learning. First of all, we will see what is the meaning of the inductive learning. Inductive learning means, for example, a function is given that is x comma f of x. Here, see it is given an example of the function x comma f of x, where f of x is treated as the predicted function, and the examples are set of the examples are given in the set called f of x. So discrete f of x is classification. Whenever we work on the discrete data of the f of x, then it is called a classification. Whenever we will work on the predictive function f of x on the continuous data, then it is treated as the regression. There is a lot of difference between the classification and as well as the regression. Regression will always works on the continuous data, whereas the discrete data is treated as the classification. This classification and regression, regarding this one video already I have created and I posted. Just go through that. Okay. So next, f of x is equal to probability of x, the probability of the estimation. So f of x is treated as the predictive function, where x is the some set of the examples. We are going to work on the set of the examples on the f of x. We will get certain number of the values like that. So this is the best example, is nothing but the decision tree. So here we are going to generate the predictive model by learning from the examples. So it is the best example of learning from the examples. This is called the inductive learning. The next one is nothing but the instance-based learning. Instance-based learning is a separate kind of the learning. This also comes under the supervised learning. See, this method simply storing the presenting training data. Whenever there is a concept of the training data and as well as the test data, that must be always a supervised model of the learning. We can call it as a supervised learning itself. It is also one of the best example of the supervised learning. Okay. So when a new query instance, whenever a new example is encountered, a set of the relevant examples are retrieved from the memory, and that is used to classify the new example. Okay, new thing. So like that, this instance-based learning can be used. The set of the it can be classified based on the set of the previously stored messages, previously stored examples. Based on that, it can be used. So various kinds of the instance-based learning approaches are nothing but the k-nearest neighborhood algorithm and case-based reasoning is one of the best examples. KN and NCDR, these two are the very good examples. So one of the other name of this is nothing but lazy learning and as well as the eager learning. Okay. So here ideal approaches can construct different approximation to target function for each distinct query. That means they will use some kind of the various kinds of approximations of the target function. These can be treated as the global and as well as the local approximations. While we are talking about this KNN, we will, with one kind of the example, we will see this particular method very easily understandable manner. So in the further videos, we see this k-nearest neighborhood methods and the instance-based learning. So instance-based learning finally works on the already previously stored examples. The current element can be classified based on that. So it is also one of the supervised learning method, and the best examples are k-nearest neighbor and as well as the case-based reasoning. And the next one is called as the ensemble learning. It is very important kind of a learning in the supervised learning. So whenever the classifiers are very weak, we can work with them. We can make stronger with the help of the strong classifiers. These strong classifiers are having the high accuracy and low noisy data. That means ensemble means the collection actually. Not only one classifier here, we make use of the multiple number of the classifiers. That is called as the ensemble learning. So various methods that are going to use in ensemble learning are nothing but boosting, bagging, AdaBoost and random forest. These are the various methods that are going to use in the ensemble learning especially. So ensemble learning will work on the multiple number of the models and decision making. So one of the thing here it is nothing but whenever we have weak classifiers, we go for this ensemble learning with the strong classifiers. So this is the best method, and it can give the high accuracy and less overheat and low variance, and it is treated as a very good method. It is called as one kind of a supervised learning method with the help of the strong classifiers. Whenever we are having weak classifiers, we work with the strong classifiers. The methods that we are supposed to use here are nothing but boosting, bagging, AdaBoost and random forest. The next one is called as the deep learning.